Hello everyone, I'm Bethany with Texas Women's University Fitness and Recreation, and this is Virtual Mat Pilates. Today we won't need any equipment unless you know that you would like to have equipment for yourself during certain moves. And as always, I encourage you to hydrate appropriately for you throughout the workout and listen to your body, including taking breaks. We'll begin reclining this week. Entering into our breath work, we'll have the feet sits bones distance apart, so the back part of your hip that you sit on when sitting in a chair, our knees bent and pointing to the ceiling, and our palms down on either side of the hips on the mat or the floor. Let's take a breath in to prepare, nice and deep. Feeling the rib cage expand into the floor or the mat, and then on that exhale, everything lightly contracts down toward the center of your body. Let's take a breath in again. Feeling everything inflate like a balloon, and then on the exhale, we're going to blow out through pursed lips like we're blowing out candles on a birthday cake. Or milk bubbles out of a straw. And then let's take one more here, breathing in nice and deep. And then exhaling. Feeling everything lightly contract toward the center of your body. Going into our imprint and release, that tiny tuck of the pelvis by tightening the lower abs. Let's inhale to tilt that pelvis into imprint, and then exhale as we release back to neutral. Inhale, tilt that pelvis, then exhale, release. One more like this, inhaling to tilt, and then exhaling to release. As you can see, it's a very small movement. Let's keep going. We'll inhale, passing through that imprint, and we'll exhale, just like we have been, but we'll roll that spine up off the mat into that diagonal shape, squeezing through the glutes and the hamstrings to lift. We'll inhale here, and then on the exhale, we'll start rolling that spine back down, just the way we came, and then we'll release those hips back to neutral last. Again, inhaling as we pass through that imprint, and then exhaling to continue to curl up. Inhaling to hold, and then exhaling to slowly roll that spine back down and release those hips last. Let's take a last one. Inhaling, passing through that imprint, and then exhaling, rolling that spine up off the mat. Inhaling at the top, and then exhaling, rolling that spine right back down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time, releasing the hips last. Let's inhale to float those legs to a tabletop shape. Then let's exhale. Let them rock over to one side, lifting the hip up off the mat slightly, rotating through the obliques or the waistline. We'll inhale here to hold, and then we'll exhale. Take it back to center. Switching sides. Inhaling to prepare. Exhaling. Rotating over, only to about 45 degrees. Inhaling here to hold, and then exhaling, taking it back to center. Adding on. Let's inhale to prepare. Exhale. Rotate. Inhale, lengthen the legs. Exhale, bend the knees. And then inhale, back to center. Exhale, switching sides, rotating. Inhaling to lengthen through those hamstrings. Exhaling to bend. And inhaling to return back to center. One more time each side. Exhaling to rotate. Inhaling to lengthen through those hamstrings. Exhaling to bend the knees. And then inhaling back to center. Last time. Exhaling to rotate. Inhaling to lengthen through those hamstrings. And then exhaling to bend the knees. And then inhaling to draw them in. Let's float those legs back down to the floor and take those hands, palms toward each other, fingertips reaching to the ceiling. Let's inhale, reach, pressing those shoulders toward the ceiling, keeping them the same distance apart, protracting the shoulders, and then let's exhale and just let them drop. Let's take 2 more like that. Inhaling to reach, protracting, and then exhale, just let those shoulders drop. 1 more, inhaling to reach, and then exhaling, let those shoulders drop. Going the other way, retracting lightly together and down into the floor of the mat. Let's inhale and retract those shoulder blades, lightly squeezing them together and down. And then exhale, release to neutral. Inhale, lightly contract. Exhale, release to neutral. 1 more, inhaling to retract, and then exhaling to neutral. Going into arm scissors. Let's inhale and reach the hands in opposite directions, but keeping the rib cage closed and the spine neutral. And then exhale, let the hands come back to that start position. Inhale, switching sides, and then exhale, back to start. Again, inhale, reach, exhale, start. Inhale, reach, exhale, center. Last time for each side, inhale to reach, exhale, center, and inhale, reach, exhale, center, and let's float those hands to frame the hips, palms down. Going into our head nods and our ab preps, let's inhale to nod the head, keeping the skull on the mat, tucking the chin lightly, and then exhale, release to neutral. 2 more like that. Inhaling to nod, and then exhaling to release to neutral. And 1 more, inhaling to nod, and then exhaling to release to neutral. Going into our ab prep, which at any point, if you feel tension in the head and neck, you can take those fingertips and lightly support the weight of the head in the hands here so that the tension is reduced. But otherwise, we'll begin with the hands framing the hips, hovering off the mat. And we'll inhale to nod the head once more. And then we'll exhale, curling through the front line to contract you up. We'll flex the spine up. We'll inhale here to hold. And then we'll exhale, curl it right back down with control. 2 more like that. Let's inhale to nod. Exhale. Flex it up. Inhale here. And then exhale. Curl it right back down. 1 more like that. Inhale, nod. Exhale. Flex that spine up. Inhale to hold. And then exhale. Curl it right back down. Adding on. Inhale to nod the head. Exhale. Flex that spine up. Make sure the gaze is over the knees, not down at your belly button. Let's take a breath to prepare in. And exhale. See if you can curl a little bit deeper for 1. And then back off just a little bit. Exhale. Deeper for 2. Exhale. Deeper for 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Really look for your core to be engaged. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. 10 more. Exhale for 10. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 7. And 6. And 5. And 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale here, and then exhale. Roll it right back down. If you have tension in your head and neck, give a gentle side-to-side shake. If you'd like to squeeze the knees into the chest, similarly, take the time to do so. Then, let's carefully flip over on to our stomachs. We'll take the legs turned out at the hip, toes pointing toward the corner edges of the mat, or about shoulder width if you, like myself, do not have a mat. The hands, palms down, just underneath the shoulders in front of the body, and the back of the hips and glutes are squeezing lightly together and then lightly and gently up. Belly button pulling away from the mat, the floor, or the t-shirt the entire time. We'll begin with our spine neutral here in either a hover or completely into the floor, depending upon what feels right for your neutral spinal posture. But we'll begin taking a full breath cycle to prepare in and out, breathing nice and deep in and out. Then on the inhale, we're going to think of lengthening the crown of the head forward and up, using the back line to contract us, pressing lightly into the hands. And then we'll exhale to curl it right back down to the mat. Again, inhaling to lengthen forward and up, pressing lightly into the mat or the floor with the fingertips. And then exhale, curling it right back down. Those hands, the palms, can reach back and frame the hips. Same thing, but we're going to reach the fingertips toward the toes and open out that chest and shoulders and think of lifting those pinkies up behind us. Here we go. Full breath cycle to prepare. Breathing in and out, drawing that belly button away from the floor. We're going to inhale to lengthen forward and up. Pinkies lift, fingertips reach to toes. And then exhale. Keep the arms lifted, but take the spine back to neutral. One more. Inhale, lengthen forward and up. And then exhale. Curl it back down. Let those hands pass through a hovering W shape on either side of the body, and then let the forehead and hands come glued to one another and rest on the floor for a brief moment. Going into the third of our breaststroke preps, we'll keep forehead and hands glued together the entire time. Same breath pattern, inhaling up and exhaling down. A full breath cycle in and out to prepare. Breathing in and out. On the inhale, lengthening forward and up. Feet stay glued to the ground, probably won't go that high, and that's okay. And then we'll exhale, lower back down. One more, inhaling to lengthen and lift forward and up. And then exhaling to curl it back down. Let's take a shell stretch. Palms frame the chest, but this time we press up and take the knees forward so that we can round the spine, feeling a gentle ab contraction as we take a full breath in and out. And then we can inhale to lengthen into our hero pose for a brief moment, because we'll transition to our back and we'll go into our Pilates 100. So with the breathing, it'll be as though we are pounding on an imaginary mattress underneath us with control. We can be with the legs both planted, feet on the floor, knees to ceiling. This is one option. We can also float the legs to a tabletop posture. We can lengthen to a 90-degree shape in the hips here, between torso and legs. Or we can come out to a 45 position. But today, where we're going to go is we'll be lengthening from a tabletop to a 45, breathing in and then breathing out, and it'll be awesome. So let's be reclined now that we know what our options are and where we might be going. We'll take a full breath in and out, feeling everything funnel down and contract to support you. Then we'll inhale to float one leg up, then the other leg up. We'll exhale to nod the head and curl up. And then we'll breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, take those knees in. Take the hands behind the head. We're going to exhale, rotate into our oblique twists. Inhale, curl deeper back to center. Exhale, rotate the other side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, switching sides each time. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, inhale, 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 center. Last round. Exhale, inhale, center, and exhale. Inhale, center, and then exhale. Roll it back down. We can take the knees in for a squeeze and a rock side to side, or even a head turn side to side if you have head and neck tension. All right, briefly, let's curl it up to a sitting position here, going into our half roll back, and then we'll see how we go with our full roll up. The hands are going to be palm down on either side of the, actually not on either side of anything. The hands are going to be at shoulder height here and at shoulder distance apart from one another, palms facing toward the floor. We'll begin with a breath in and up, nice and tall. And then we'll exhale, curl back through that lower belly first. And then we'll inhale as we scoop and dive over, trying to keep our arms horizontal. And then we'll exhale, rock back, and then inhale, scooping over. Last one, exhale, curl it back, and inhale, scoop and dive over, and then exhale, we'll lengthen back up tall. All right, the legs are going to flex if they weren't already, and we'll press those legs out to hip distance apart, but where we can sit up nice and tall. We may find that we need to soften the knees just a little bit so that we're not hyperextending, or if we have excessive hip tension, but they will quickly lengthen out. So we're going to begin in the same position that we were in, only this time we're going to keep going. We're going to keep these feet flexed as though we were pressing them against an imaginary wall and then down into the floor. So let's take a breath in and up. And then on the exhale, start to curl through that belly, rounding, keeping the legs on the floor the whole time. And then once the shoulder blades touch, we can release. And those arms can rotate so the palms are facing one another. And we can take those biceps toward the ears. Our start position. So this time, we're going to go all the way up on the first go. And if we don't go all the way up, I'll show you where we can go. So we'll just take a test run. We're going to inhale and think about growing longer as we nod the head. And then we're going to exhale, flex it up as much as you can control. And for some of us, this may be like we're here and we're doing good, because if we try to go any higher, our legs come off the floor. We've really got to use the glutes to press those heels down and away That way they can stay on the floor and we have something to press against to continue rolling us all the way up. If this is where we are, then this is where we are, and we keep working and keep training and let our body coach us through this move. Then we can exhale to return back to our start position, biceps toward the ears. However, we're going to go for the full roll up right out the gate today. So let's take those biceps toward the ears. We'll inhale to nod the head and think of growing longer and taller. And then we'll exhale, curl it up. Keep those legs on the floor and really think of scooping that belly up and over all the way to essentially a staff pose with forward fold. In this position, we can take a nice deep breath in, and then on the exhale, we're going to round down the way we came in, scooping through that lower belly, relaxing the shoulders, all the way back to our start position. Alrighty, let's take 2 more of those. Inhale, think about growing longer and taller as we nod the head. And then exhale, start to scoop through that belly and curl it over. Then we'll inhale nice and deep here. And then exhale with control. Curl everything back down the way we came in. Taking those arms back up overhead to the start position. All right, last one. Let's inhale to reach, nodding the head, growing taller and longer, and then exhaling to curl up and over, keeping those legs on the ground. And then we'll inhale nice and deep here. And then we'll exhale. Let's stack it up nice and tall. Excellent. All right, let's swivel it around and come to a 4-point stance here. We'll begin with our leg pull front prep. So we'll tuck those toes. We're going to think about using the lower belly to lift those knees to a hover. All of the work being done on an exhale. So let's take a breath to prepare. On the exhale, lift those knees just maybe an inch off the floor. Inhale to hold here, and then exhale, lower them back down. Inhale to prep, exhale, lift those knees to a hover. Inhale, and then exhale, lowering back down with control. And one more, breathing into prep, exhale, lift to that hover. Inhale to hold, and then exhale, lowering down. All right, we're going to make a tiny adjustment to this tabletop posture here. We're going to take those knees back a fair amount, because where this is going to go is we're going to lengthen from that knee hover into our plank. So my knees are slightly behind my hips, but I'm not here in a cow back or the hips pressing up and behind me. I'm going to be in a neutral spine, drawing my belly button in and my shoulders comfortably down the back with my wrists underneath my shoulders. We'll take a breath in to prepare. On the exhale, lift those knees to a hover. Hold for breath in. On the exhale, lengthen out to that plank shape. Inhale to hold, and then exhale, lower those knees back down. And as you got there, like myself, you may have found that you needed to make some adjustments. That's okay. You know where plank feels right on your body. Let's take 2 more of those. Inhaling to prepare. Exhaling. Lifting those knees to a hover. Inhaling to hold. Exhaling. Lengthening out to our plank position. Inhaling. And then exhaling to lower those knees back down. You may also find that the lengthening out, pressing through the heels is not for you yet. that's okay. We can also step one at a time with the feet. Let's take a last one here. Taking a breath to prepare in. On the exhale, lifting those knees to a hover. Inhaling to hold, and then exhaling into our plank position. Inhaling here, and then exhaling, lowering those knees back down to the mat. Let's shift it back, and we'll take a child's pose here. Breathing in nice and deep, and then exhaling just as fully. Then let's inhale to draw us up to our hero pose. All right, next we'll come down to the mat and get some work on our swimmer prep. So where we have been going is working on just the legs and just the arms. We're going to do one arm and one leg at the same time. So it'll be a lift, opposite limbs, and then a lower, and a lift, and a lower, with the head either resting here comfortably or in a slight hover, because we're looking again for that neutral spine in a prone position. So, starting with your favorite opposite arm and leg, let's inhale to lengthen and lift, and I'll be slightly elevated so that we can see and hear each other. And then we'll exhale to lower back down. Reaching long across the body through the toe and the fingertips, switching sides. Let's inhale to lengthen and lift, and then exhale to lower it down. Trying to feel the sensation of the belly button pulling away from the mat the whole time. Switching back to the first side, let's inhale to lengthen and lift, and then exhale, lowering it down. And again, inhaling to lengthen and lift, switching sides each time, exhaling to lower it down. Again, inhaling to lengthen and lift, and exhaling to lower down. And last one, inhaling to lengthen and lift, and then exhaling to lower everything down. Wonderful. Let's press it back up and take a quick shell stretch. Breathing in nice and deep, and exhaling just as fully, and then we'll inhale back up to our hero. Okay, entering into our seated twists. The legs will be in a Pilates V here with the feet flexed, but I'll keep my feet out of the frame for us. We'll have the arms lengthened to a T, and we're going to think of inhaling up nice and tall, and then we're going to exhale into the rotation, and then inhale, lengthen back up. And then let's switch sides. Exhaling into the rotation, and inhaling back up. Again, exhaling to rotate, inhaling back up, and exhaling to rotate, and inhaling back up. We're going to change the breathing so that it'll be an exhale here, and then an inhale to rotate, and then an exhale back to center. Inhaling to rotate, and then exhaling back to center. Again, inhaling to rotate, exhaling to center, and inhaling to rotate, and exhaling to center. Adding the pulses on an inhale. Here we go. Inhaling up nice and tall to begin, and exhaling. We're going to inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, back to center. Other side. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen as we rotate, and exhale, back to center. Again, inhale, 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 and exhale, back to center, and inhale, 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 and exhale, back to center. Hands can go either in between the legs or out to the side, depending on the width of your small straddle. But we're going to go into our spine stretch forward, breathing in and up nice and tall. And then on the exhale, nodding the head and flexing that spine forward, walking the fingertips down between the legs or at the sides of the legs. We'll inhale to hold. And then we'll exhale, start to roll that spine back up one vertebrae at a time. Let's take 2 more like that. Inhaling nice and up tall. Exhaling, curling that spine down. Inhaling here. And then exhaling, stacking right back up. Let's take 1 more. Exhaling to curl it down. Inhaling here. And then exhaling to roll that spine back up. All right, we're going to see if we can give the two a little bit of a combination. So we'll take the arms out to a T. We'll inhale up nice and tall. And then we're going to exhale to hold. Inhale to rotate. Exhale, we're going to flip the shoulders so that the back palm faces up and the front palm also faces up in different directions. One reaching forward, one reaches back. Then we're going to nod the head and flex it forward. Working with our breath, that's an exhale here. Then we'll inhale, stack that spine up nice and tall and open out those arms back to a T and return with an exhale. Let's see if we can replicate that on the other side. Inhaling to rotate, exhaling to flip the palms, nodding the head, rolling forward. Inhaling to hold here. And then exhaling to roll that spine back up and inhaling to unwind. I think the breath may have gotten a little bit tangled on us, but we got this because no matter which way we're breathing, it's still Pilates. So let's take a breath in and up. Hold for an exhale. Let's inhale to rotate. Exhale. Rotate the shoulders, nod the head, flex it forward. Inhale to hold. Exhale, roll that spine back up and back to center on an inhale. Other side. Exhaling to hold here in the center. Inhaling to rotate. Exhaling, flip the palms, nod the head. Dive it forward, inhaling to hold, and then exhaling to roll that spine back up and inhaling to unwind to our start position. All right, let's take it comfortable for us, seated position, and we'll take our last breath together with the palms out to the side. We'll inhale, lengthening up, and we'll exhale. The hands in front of the body. Thank you guys so much for working with me on challenging ourselves on our development of our Pilates Saw at the end and all of the work that we did to progress our flow and our Pilates full roll-up. I hope it's going along great for you guys at home. Please feel welcome to leave us questions, comments, criticisms, condolences, requests, anything in the comments below. Take care, you guys.